And so, let's chat a little bit about the good in sports. And here we go. So, what do we talk about now that the NFL is over? Do we talk about college football? Do we talk college basketball? Do we get ready to talk about baseball? This is the NBA's time. It's the NBA's time to reconnect with its fans and reconnect to the rest of the world. 66 game basketball season. A lot of crazy things are happening. And right now, the league is plagued by three major stories in the good section. The first story, in no order of preference, of course, has to be the story of the Texas teams. The San Antonio Spurs have won 9 straight games, and most people thought the Spurs would be put out to pasture this year because, quite frankly, they're a pretty old team. Tim Duncan has been dominating this league for the past, 13 years. And this season he's not even dominating, but his team continues to play great and get the job done. The Dallas Mavericks, the defending champions. A lot of people felt the Mavericks would this season come back to earth a little bit, getting rid of Tyson Chandler, getting rid of this, Deshaun Stevenson. They lost their toughness. But what Dallas is showing is that, Dirk, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, they can still play. And though, Oklahoma City and the Clippers have been talked about more, the Mavericks are figuring it out after a slow start. And they're playing pretty good basketball. The Houston Rockets, they do this every year. They get off to great starts in the first half of the season. They have a team that doesn't scare anybody, but they have ways of winning games that bothers everybody. They can beat you with good defense one night. They can outshoot you the next night. Kevin McHale the other night, I guess, was angry with the way Kelvin Martin was playing, so he benched him. And then he comes back last night, throws in 32 points. The Rockets aren't going anywhere. Spurs aren't going anywhere. And the Mavericks aren't going anywhere. So out here on the West Coast, don't sleep on the Texas teams because they're doing it the good old-fashioned way with good defense, timely shooting, and clutch free throw shooting, and hard work. The second story in the NBA this season, without question, has to be the play of the Los Angeles Clippers. I was talking to a gentleman earlier today, and he said to me, he kept asking me all these Laker questions, and I was like, yo, my man, it ain't about the Lakers. It's about the Clippers. And he started to laugh. He goes, I haven't been to LA in 2 years, and you're trying to tell me this is a Clippers town? And I said, I'm not trying to say it's a Clippers town yet, but this season, the Clippers are the real deal, folks. And for the first time, on all season long, I can actually talk about the Clippers the day after a win. Every week for the past couple of weeks, I wanted to talk about the Clippers and be all on their side and stuff like that. And what happens? They lose the night before to a team that they shouldn't lose. They lose controversially. Last night's win against Washington may not be significant because Washington isn't really a great team, but they're good enough. Washington just beat Portland the other day. And the Clippers were able to last evening somehow, shake off some rust. I guess they were feeling a little bit, having some problems, I guess. And I guess last night they put it together in the second half and defeated them. I guess they're saying something, they're trying to call and saying it's disconnected. But I guess the phone line's disconnected, so just sit back and listen. That's coming from Florida. My father, I guess, is listening to the show and he can't call in. Just sit back and listen then. I'm not going to talk much NFL, so maybe I can sway you into liking something else. But the Clippers are a huge story right now, folks. Chris Paul is clearly the league's MVP right now because of what he has done to this team, what he has done in terms of turning around the way they play. There's no disputing it. The other night they got ripped off by the referees against Dallas. Chris Paul Kenyon Martin clearly got fouled twice, and there was no calls made. But, the Clippers are a team to be reckoned with, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But the biggest story in the NBA right now, folks, without question, is Jeremy Lin. I said to you a week ago on this show, I said the Knicks finally have a point guard who can organize them. I've been saying all season long that you need somebody who can organize you. The Lakers could use a point guard who can organize them. I'm not going to badmouth Derek Fisher, but unfortunately, that seems to be the remedy right now in the league. And the irony of that is they keep comparing him to Steve Nash, and Nash is having one of his best seasons, but Phoenix can't beat anybody. Phoenix was all over Atlanta last evening, and in the fourth quarter fell apart, and Atlanta beat them. But what Jeremy Lin is doing for the Knicks is just showing you that basketball is a simple game. When I was in high school, I told you guys this story a few weeks ago. We had two plays. If the point guard went left, we went screen and roll left. If the point guard went right, we went screen and roll right. And the Knicks right now, that's all they're simply doing. When Jeremy Lin has the ball, he's going screen and roll with Tyson Chandler, and he's getting a dunk. Now he's doing it with Stoudemire, getting dunks. And when the defense collapses on the roll guy, somebody's standing wide open for a three-point shot, and then boom, knocking down the three. Simple game. Now, is he for real? Is he, a fad? Is he somebody who, is hot right now and we won't hear his name or hear anything about him for the rest of the season after this run of games? We'll find out. But the Knicks have won 7 games in a row. They're now at 500. They play the Hornets tomorrow night. They got Dallas on Sunday, and then Monday they got the Nets. You go 2-1 out of that stretch, or win all 3 games, and you're starting to climb your way up into the Eastern Conference hierarchy. And yes, we know the Eastern Conference, you're not going to win unless you go through Boston, Chicago, or Miami. But Knicks fans, we're just going to enjoy this for what we have right now, which is an opportunity to be part of the basketball conversation. Something that we haven't been in a long time. So, keep it going, Jeremy. I'm not going to buy a Lin jersey just yet. Bernard King is still my favorite Knick of all time, so if I don't have a Bernard King jersey, I'm not going to have a Jeremy Lin jersey. But you keep doing what you're doing. When Carmelo comes back tomorrow night, I hear you're giving him credit for getting you on the floor. We'll see how this team meshes, and we'll see what happens from this day forth. And we'll be back on 89.7 KLAS FM after this.